Did his lifestyle on the road conflict with your integrity, core beliefs, religious beliefs in any way?
Well, I will say this. When I went on the road with M, I actually, I've always been a believer in God, man. Always, no matter what. So I always, I had a Bible with me at all times. I had a Bible in my bunk on the tour bus, and I would read several passages a night. And there was a time where, believe it or not, I had Eminem reading the Bible. I sure did.
Eminem doesn't seem like the Bible type.
You know what? Eminem's very in touch with God, but he has come from
Or at least not at that time.
not at that time, but he was open.
Yeah.
He was a sponge. At that time, he was open to everything. Open to everything that made sense.
Oh, okay.
So I had him reading the Bible. We wasn't doing like Bible class, no shit like that, but it was like he would read. He would read. I said, hey man, I listen to you every night, man. Why don't you read this right here, man? I would just spring stuff on, hey man, read this. Like a chapter here. Not a chapter, but like a verse here. Mostly from Psalms.
Oh, okay.
I say, hey man, read that. What you think about it? I don't. Matter of fact, I had him reading the Bible one. I will never forget this. Somebody came out with a T-shirt. You know, he had a McDonald's shirt.
Yeah.
Eminem had on a McSatan shirt, and that I had him reading the Bible. Why he had on that McSatan shirt?
Yeah.
My thing was, man, it wasn't about religion. It was to make him think. I made him think. Nobody else in the camp made him think. Even to this day, I make him think. I challenge his intellect, like I'm doing right now. I challenge your intellect. You know I do. Give your boy a call. Stop playing, man.
How did you traveling on tour, guarding his life, affect your life, your family, and everything you had going on?
Me protecting my family switched from me protecting him. There was something that was said by my oldest son to his mother, my wife at the time. She says, your son asked me, if daddy's out protecting Eminem, who's going to protect us? Woo! That shit right there, man, did something to me. That right there was the beginning of the spiral of me coming home. That phrase by my son.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that in 20 years, man. Cam, you know some Barbara Walters shit, man. That's pretty good. You know who Barbara Walters is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Behind the spotlight, what type of personality did Marshall Mathers have?
He was a great guy, man. Emma's a great guy. During the time that I worked with him, M was battling his personal identity as a father, his identity with fans, his identity with the industry, his identities as a writer. So I could be talking to him. Say if you're M and I'm me. It's just you and I in the room. At that time, I'm talking to Marshall. A fan walk in the room, now he's Eminem. And I have to know, as the third person, to switch to this is Eminem now. He has a fan. As a fan has entered the room, you have to acknowledge him as Eminem. The fan leaves. We're in the studio. Now he's Slim Shady. Slim Shady is the writer. You have to address him as that in order to keep him to character. Now, Kim calls, he automatically goes to Marshall, which is the arguing, the beefing, this, that, and the other, and all this other shit. Or when we arrive to Detroit before we're on a flight and the wheels get ready to touch down, Marshall, I would clearly say out to him, Marshall, what are you and your daughter doing this weekend? I would have to summon his government name to pull it out of him. As them wheels are touching now, you're not on the road anymore. You're not Eminem. You're not Slim Shady. We're back home. Marshall, what are you doing for your family this weekend? He said, and he would look at me like, I see what you're doing, man. I said, exactly. I know what I'm doing. The fan base is done. And even with that, I had to play the heavy on a lot of stuff. So like walking through the airport, I would have him sign a lot of 8x10 glossies, which you rarely see anymore because everybody got pictures and phones and all this shit. Sign 100 of these, man. Give them to me. We walking through the airport. Oh my God, Eminem, you're my biggest fan. Can I get an autograph? Bam. Keep walking. Can you personalize it? No. Keep walking. So the whole time, from the car, we walking. Every so often, he would want to stop and take a photo. Man, she just want to take a photo. Can I get a photo with her? So if you take one photo, which turns to 2, which turns to 3, which turns to 5, which turns to 20, and he would not leave until he signed or take a picture with every one of those fucking people. So all of these signed autographs I have over here is really null and void because you're still going to personalize it anyway. So he was always in touch, which made me realize, okay, even though he's up here, he's still a humble cat. So, yeah, it's a good dude, man. He overall, he could be an asshole. Don't get it twisted. He could be an asshole, but overall, he was a good dude, man.
Did you like the man you personally bodyguarded?
I did. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. You had to always be on your P's and Q's with this cat, man. You know what you was going to get, man. I remember we were in Germany. This didn't make the book. I was taking a shit. Em got his little lady friend. Naz, I want to go get something to eat. Okay, dude, I need you to give me 5 minutes. I'm in the bathroom. Give me 5 minutes. I need you to go now. I said, hey, my stomach don't work off of your readiness, man, to go. I said, just give me 5 minutes. He fucking left the hotel while I was on John. So I had to learn how to shit quicker. That's the sad part, man. So, of course, I had to go through my business, got out, ran out, had to find him on the street, already in the streets of Germany, man. I think we were in Cologne, Germany. I said, dude, what the fuck, man? I told you that. He said, hey, man, I was ready to go now. I said, that's not how this shit work, man. He said, I'm going to need you to shit quicker. Those are his exact words.
Did you ever?
That was the asshole part. Yeah.
Right. Did you ever state in any of your prior interviews that Suge Knight put a hit or attempted to kill him?
Man, you know what? I don't really know what their intention was, but they weren't great. You know, it was never vocalized to me that we're trying to kill M. The one thing that I always said, and you go back and you read my book, man, 20 years ago, they were trying to force him over to sign with Death Row Records. That was their intentions, but they were so aggressive with it. One of the things that I do want to state, and I want to say this right here, right now, and I'm saying this on California turf right now. When Suge was up for sentencing, I did an interview with Murder Music, good friends of mine. These guys are pretty good. They did a real great interview. But the media decided to take a snippet and change the headlines that says, Suge Knight put a hit on Eminem. I never said that. That was their perspective of saying that. And they only said that because Suge was up on a murder trial for running somebody over at a video shoot. They were trying to use that trying to use me as an involuntary character witness since I said this in the book or I said this in the interview, and that's not what I said. They took and twisted my words. You can go back and look at all my stuff. I never said anything about that. I've always stuck to the guns about, hey, look, they were trying to force him over to death row. And they did pursue us. They did strong arm us. But I never said anything about guys trying to kill us. They was on our ass. But I never used those words to kill. Suge said to kill anybody. The media, just like they did in the East Coast, West Coast beef, the Puffy killings, not Puffy killings, excuse me, the Biggie killing, the Tupac killing, the media took it and twisted it to build headlines. And that's the one thing I can honestly say. I didn't like what they did to try to use my words in an interview to build their own headline. And I'm a communication and mass media major. I went to school for this shit. So I know what they were doing. They're trying to make him guilty in the Court of Appeals. You don't need to make him guilty in the Court of Appeals. You seen a man run a guy over on TMZ. What do you need me for? You understand what I'm saying? So don't do that. That's one of the biggest regrets that I have about the book, about the interviews, that they tried to use me, use a black man against another black man that has nothing to do with him because we had history in passing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.